A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Extra Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. I am King James YiYE, and of course we bring talk of your life, beginning from everything to everything. Now we are looking at the focus of broadcast media in the era of economic downturn. Broadcast media in the era of economic downturn, and this has actually formed the theme for the 80th General Assembly of Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BORN, which was held on the 25th of February 2025 at Command Guest House, Bauchi in Bauchi State. So broadcasters from public and private media organizations have come together under this theme, the broadcast media in the era of economic downturn. They looked at the way forward. As King Radio correspondent Tahav Agerzua was also there, and he will be joining me on Extra Speed, and we'll be looking at this, and we'll allow you to call 08084275464. That's 08084275464 when you want to contribute. So what this is basically saying is that economic downturn, you know that things are supposed to go up. Apart from inflation, when it goes up is wrong, but development goes up. So when the economy takes a downturn, it means things are not normal economically. And so the broadcast media in an era where there is no money, basically that's what it is. 08084275464. When it's time for you to call, we will also ask you to call. And if you are out there, we are here doing the media job, and if you can tell us what ways you think we can survive the economic downturn. But of course, broadcasters have come together to look at this as well. So we'll be listening to what they have to say. And of course, we allow you to, call as well. We're also streaming live on Facebook. That's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi on Facebook. So we'll ask you to join us on Facebook and bring in your comments and suggestions as well. As Extra Speed on 98.5 Speed FM. Stay tuned.
We do it naturally, and you love it. We are Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
Just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one.
It's Extra Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. I am King James YiYE, and I've been joined by
Tahav Agerzua.
Okay, so you were in Bauchi for the 80th General Assembly of Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, and I just mentioned it here, before you got into the studio. Basically, they've been looking, broadcasters from private and public broadcast organizations coming together to look at what the media is facing in the face or in the era of economic downturn. Overall, what do you think they are thinking that we would do to survive?
When I sat and listened to the experts and the major players discussing first I thought there was no hope. The picture they initially painted of the big other big players, unforeseen players like Google, artificial intelligence, and the platforms coming to eat into the traditional survival live wire of the media, taking away the adverts. And that was there was major lamentation of the major players. But then, as you ask, at the end they said investment in technology, strategic partnerships, and being on the platforms was the solution that was needed for the survival of the broadcast media.
Anyway, I think I really just I've been trying to put my head together since I listened to your report. And there are suggestions, I don't know, but let's listen to the Bauchi State Governor.
Okay.
He declared the assembly open, and he is a journalist.
Yes.
Though not a broadcast journalist, but he's a journalist, so he can actually practice anywhere.
Yes.
So let's listen to what he has to say, and maybe we'll start analyzing there.
Yes.
It's xTRa Speed, and you will be able to call us as well. Stay tuned.
The broadcasting industry is at the crossroads. While technology presents opportunities for growth and expansion, it also introduces new challenges. The rise of the internet, social media, artificial intelligence, and the deepfake phenomenon has transformed the way information is disseminated. Some of these challenges are perceived as threats, but I urge you to see them as opportunities to innovate, adapt, and uphold the highest standards of journalism in the 21st century. In the face of economic challenges, I encourage the industry to explore strategic partnerships, leverage new technologies, and embrace digital transformation.
So this is what they are saying. Basically the same things he's mentioning. Now for the platforms, in summary, what is he saying?
He is saying to be able to survive, the broadcast industry must explore strategic partnerships. So when I was there, I was surprised at the things, the way you have been trying to position Asking Radio. We've been seeking for partnerships. We've written letters to people. I didn't know that this was the pattern to follow. Investment in technology, which you are already into. You can operate this studio from any place, from the home, on the move, anywhere. I was surprised. Then they talk about digitalization, which are all the same. But I can see that if you didn't have that vision, I don't know how you would have been performing. Then later, maybe when you may play what the executive secretary of the broadcasting organizations of Nigeria said, Dr. Yemisi Bambose, he talked about the energy, that the major thing is the energy. You know, putting broadcast media on band A. Band A, yeah. So they makes nonsense of whatever, even if
whoever is thinking.
So by going solar, you have cut out
that's particularly exactly, yeah.
Otherwise, if you were operating on NEPA, you would have closed down since.
Of course.
So the things they were saying are the things that maybe you had the vision to do. So I wondered if you were there and they allowed you to share the testimonies. But the thing was so brief that they didn't allow us to share the testimonies of where we came from. But we were our operations are just in line with the recommendations that they made for the survival of the broadcast industry.
Exactly. So when I was listening, I was like, there's nothing new for us. There's absolutely nothing new because we have done everything they're talking about. So the other thing when they're talking about platforms.
Yes.
They were not specific about the platforms.
No, but they mentioned Radio Garden. He mentioned one of them.
We're already there.
And he said the platforms have made every media outfit a global outfit.
Yes.
They are no longer local. So
exactly. So you are everywhere.
Yes.
That is that. But the problem still remains. That's just the truth.
Yes.
The problem still remains because all we are saying here is about money.
Yes.
Coming into the broadcast industry.
How do you get the money to invest
exactly
in the technology and in digitalization?
No, let's say we have invested already.
Yes.
But then this is a commercial radio station, so it is not supposed to be where it is.
No.
Like when we are talking about time and all of that, for instance, the energy we put in doing an hour's requests. Sure. That's the taping.
Yes.
You look at the energy and everything. So even if you are reading 100 cards, it's still not worth the time.
Yes.
So people are not getting this. And I think that's where the real problem is. Otherwise, what they are suggesting, we have everything in place. We have done everything in place. The money is still not coming in.
Yes.
So I am looking at the fact that people are changing. And I think quality is just declining, even from the people's mindset. For instance, when they were talking about being on platforms and others, yes, online platforms, yes. But platforms like social media and WhatsApp platforms that people have,
yes.
I am looking at it like when you want to invite people for a meeting and old students association kind of meeting, for instance, you guys belong to that group and you are sending invitations to the same members.
Yes.
So it means you don't want outsiders to know. It's only when you go to mainstream media, if you come to Asking Radio and announce, a lot of people would know that this is what's happening. And if it is money or any trust fund you're looking forward to, it means people will come. But when you now invite the same people that are already members, does that have any effect? So I've been looking at those as well. Then using social media wrongly for everybody. For instance, if you look at Asking Radio Facebook platform, a student at the Benue State University sits and then sends a message that, hello, I want to come to your station and do my IT. And then I'm thinking you are not a serious person. So that is using technology wrongly.
Yes.
Because look at the distance between Asking Radio and BSU. But because you think Asking Radio is on Facebook or WhatsApp, then you just go and send. So things were done differently. And people valued the media and all of that. But I think quality is declining. And that's why they are telling you about Google.
Yes.
People are not watching or listening to Google ads. Now you see that on YouTube, they force you to watch like 3 seconds. And you are just looking forward to that skip. Even my 4-year-old son, big man, he looks forward to skip. Once it starts, he skips. It means nobody is even watching. But you are counting the numbers that people are watching.
The other worry was content creation. What do people really want? What do people really want? The concern was also about the kind of news we used to know, what we used to know as news in those days.
Yes.
And the 5 W's and whatever,
1H, yeah.
And H. So that the digital platforms have redefined what we used to call news. But really, as you said, maybe the worry. They mentioned one particular broadcast media that was not even licensed, and that was creating content that people were following. So they were wondering whether we should also ask ourselves, what type of content are we giving out? But for us here, the wonder is, the people interact with us on a daily basis. They say they like what we are doing.
Yeah.
But then the sponsorship, for them to know that this is a two-way traffic. If you want what we are doing, then make a little effort so that it is sustained. That is the problem.
Yeah.
Because we are interacting with the people, so we have a feel of our content. So
Exactly, it's obvious. So, as I said, it's about behavior, 21st century, and I keep telling my wife and others that it's about it's about bandwagon effect. So, people have come to follow things wrongly, and they are going into it. Like you talking about news. Why would you? Yesterday, I saw it somewhere on Facebook. Somebody brings in fake news about the Pope. And then somebody comes to copy what Asking Radio is posting, the update, and then they go to show them that this is the real thing. So had it been it's not a reputable media organization like Asking Radio, if you copy from another fake source to go and prove, it makes no sense.
Yes.
Exactly. But when you copy here, so as you said, content and news, is it about, as they would tell us at the BBC, it's better to be second and right than to be first and wrong.
Yes.
So social media, they just rush to lie and say all sort of things. Yes, everybody comes to say something, but it doesn't have effect. They still listen and rely on the mainstream media for the truth. Mainstream media, unfortunately, lazy and armchair journalism has also come in. So they are also going back to social media and online platforms to copy.
The thing is like they say, it is something like a vicious circle. It's a vicious circle. But however, the main recommendations that they made, one has no alternative than to do those things that they recommended. Even as, is it wait or we expect our listeners who say they enjoy what we are doing to rise up to their responsibility. If you like what they say, better soup na money maker. So the Bauchi thing, but as you anticipated, I thought that maybe advert agencies were part of the the assembly, and that they might come and share their experiences, and none of them.
Exactly. So that is where it's wrong, because they have their own behavior as well. The little ads that they pay, that they give you to play, as we speak, they are owing us. Up to the point that we refuse to take others. You know, so there have been court cases and courts saying this, and NBC trying to intervene, that don't owe radio stations for more than 90 days. But they owe forever, and they keep sending new ones. So they are not helping matters as well. But one thing I know, and I keep saying, is perhaps awareness. Because if you leave advert agencies out, the T population that are listening to us alone, if they are serious, or perhaps they don't know it, and we keep telling them, if they are serious, they can actually sustain a radio station and do it very well.
They can now, because they run into millions.
Exactly.
They run into millions and millions. They talked about one thing. They talked about one thing, audience, something like an audience counting, or something that will tell you the type of audience you had. They talk about something like that.
Yeah, so they have tried to do that in Nigeria. It's difficult to work because elsewhere you have a device that when people tune to your radio station or TV, it counts. So they know.
They say audience measurement team.
Yes, so they're trying to introduce that because they have been doing that in Nigeria, but people have doubted it. When they come to give you figures about who is listening to you and all of that, people, doubt. But maybe they're going to make it more credible. Extra speed, we're looking at the media in the face of economic downturn. You can call 08084 275464. Tell us, as a listener, how you can make that difference. Hello, good morning. Okay. 08084 275464, because it's the buck also shifts to the listener. Now let's say they don't know. Okay, this person is back. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Emeka Anyol from North Bank.
Morning, Emeka.
Yes.
So what can you do? What can you do to sustain Asking Radio that you listen to?
What will I do?
Yes.
To sustain.
Yes, in your own way. Yes.
Yes. I think all I can do is that if by the grace of God I have anything, I can still help for the radio to be sustained.
Emeka, you have. Let's look at it this way. You are selling rice and you have never come to advertise, and you know that people are listening, and you know the market grows. So that is just how it's done.
Okay. I will participate in advertising.
Yes.
And that was why the other day I had my people advertising, so I will come and do advertise.
Yes.
But meanwhile, I think I will tell you of a truth. Speed FM, ASCII Radio is doing the best. I told you the other day when I was talking.
Yes.
I said,
Oga Emeka, it is not that we are doing the best. How do we sustain this? We have
I am coming first.
We have a card. We have a card we call How Market.
You have never bought one.
Yes. I will come to that. Oga Agerzua, you know you are my boss.
No.
do you know one funny thing?
No.
I told Oga KiNG James the other day, I said, I love this radio because you people gives us the updates at this thing, Vatican. And at the same time, the one meeting you people were doing in Bauchi, you reported back to us exactly what was happening there. I believe that there are other executive people of stations that goes there. We never heard from them what happened. I said it the other day.
Some the big men now, the big men, the general managers who went there were in suit or agbada, they were just swimming around. They didn't bother to. And you know, if you see the dignitaries there, you might even be afraid to ask them to grant you an interview. But I was surprised when I took my recorder to the keynote speaker, and he stopped.
Of course, and
the others rushed to join me.
Exactly.
So that is one of the things I want to tell you. Somebody must be bold. Oga Agerzua, you are bold. You know, somebody who has served in many places.
No. You are going off the point, please. How can you? I expected you to say that by contributing to our stations, you are sustaining us a part of it.
Yes, I am contributing one, and I'm going to contribute the other way around by advertising. And not only that, I will influence people to come and advertise.
Now you are talking.
Yes.
So the only thing is for me to get the phone number for those things so that I can make it for the people to come and
Emeka, write this number down now and call this. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. So is 08.
Yes.
That's Joe's number. The name is Joe. 0816.
Yes.
609.
Yes, sir.
2144.
Thank you very much, sir.
So you got the number, right?
Yes.
So,
I will call.
Yeah, call Joe, and he will find a very good package for you. The Igbo community can come and have their own request show and do something.
No problem, sir.
All right. So
thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
So, I continue saying you people are doing well.
Thank you.
Are doing well.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
So from the doing well, we want our bank account to swell as well, because you have a station that you're running 24 hours and doing this kind of programs that people. So we are just wondering that maybe the people listening to us too, as I said, this shift in attitude is like, because social media has brought things that look cheap. It's like people who really want to get cheap things. You are enjoying the radio station. It's bringing you memories of old school music. It's bringing you programs that you can easily relate with. It's bringing you news that you like this way. And your own is you just enjoy and keep quiet. But everybody has something to do. Everybody can advertise. Everybody can announce something. If you decide to contribute, like the thief people now, I think the punishment we need to give them is to reduce those programs. Otherwise, some retired person there who is proud of the fact that you are doing this. Somebody sent a message the other time and said the father is 70-something years, that the mom confided in her that through asking radio, she's learning some new thief words.
Yes.
So she was asking of a way to sponsor a program, and I gave to her and then suggested ways of support as well. She sent us support and then looking forward to looking at the costs of sponsorship. So what am I saying? Let's say, because people don't know, Otherwise, if I'm a thief man and I'm proud of the fact that Asking Radio is keeping the culture,
yes,
it means I can support a program every month.
You know, we have examples. We have some models. I told you of one retired, I think he's an electrician. He called me that what he will be doing is that he will try to raise about 60,000 every year, just to give at once instead of giving 5,000. He will give as his own support to Asking Radio. Then he brought his old albums, these ones that they used to play on LP, and gave me. As part of his own, he said we should go and keep it in our archives or in our
library.
So, and then I noticed that people we call handicapped people, they give us support even by way of contributing to our programs.
Yeah,
we have one regular contributor, and he's who the people someone would describe as a blind man.
Kurave.
And not even Kurave.
The one in North Bank?
No, the one in Ukum.
Ezekiel. Yes.
When he comes on your program, the type of knowledge he displays, the type of contribution he makes, everyone acknowledges. At the time, we thought that he was just a busybody, but the quality of his contributions,
it stands out.
So. And the man is he doesn't see from birth. But recently he called even offline to tell me that he's a product of the radio, because his parents used to listen to the radio. Because of his handicap, he has gotten all his education all through his life by radio.
Yeah.
And the other time he made this team request of 3,000 naira. He bought 6 cars and said he will continue to do it as his economy.
Exactly.
so that is
those
kind of things.
Yes. So it looks like people don't know. It's Extra Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we're looking at the broadcast media in the era of economic downturn. This has also been the theme of the 80th General Assembly of Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria held in Bauchi. You can call us 08084275464. Don't be afraid to call, because if you think we confronted Emeka, that is the same way we're going to confront you, but you should be able to defend yourself as well, because don't just sit and listen for free.
No.
This social media we talk about, you guys subscribe,
yes,
buy data.
Yes. It's nothing is free, nothing.
Except radio. Radio is free.
Yes.
As we are talking, people are listening and learning, and they are not ready to do anything. So you want the radio stations to shut down, then you know that they are not there. I think we should go back to Bauchi and listen to the Executive Secretary of Board.
Yes.
Let's hear what he has to say. Extra Speed, stay tuned and call us after.
And every sector of the economy is facing challenges. But when you look at the challenges being faced by the broadcast media, you see that ours is even enormous. It's enormous because everything depends on the energy. Just like the professor told us, without energy, you cannot even operate a radio or television station. That's about energy, that is electricity. And you can determine the cost of fuel, that is diesel. And in Nigeria today, there is no availability of regular electricity. Even where there is, maybe on 50% or 40% or 20%, the enormous banditization that I've given to it, that is putting all media stations on band A, has made nonsense of whatever revenue that you are making. So these are various challenges that are confronting the sector, and we are navigating the way out. You heard the professor who said there's need for us to invest on technology, and in order for people to get, to be in tune with what is operating in the world. So we are navigating it out, and that is the reason why we are here.
Okay, so as you earlier mentioned,
yes,
his major concern is electricity,
yes,
which is actually the major driving force of operation of the media. Because without energy, how do you even operate?
But I wonder how you imagine that that would be a major challenge, and you circumvented it by going solar from day one. How did you how did you anticipate this kind of thing?
I think growing up in Nigeria and knowing how it is, and of course moving with tomorrow, definitely if you want to start anything and you are depending on the public power supply, it's really going to be difficult. So I was actually looking ahead. And I mean, as you said, if not for investment into this alternative energy, which is solar, man, it wouldn't have been easy. Because as he's saying, how much is a liter of diesel? How many hours do you have to be on air?
And at the time you started this terrestrial broadcasting, it was not as dire as we have now.
No.
But now you cannot imagine. I think even with the fuel coming down, I think diesel is still 1,000 naira or more than that.
Yes. So that is how bad it is. And you actually feel for stations that are running on diesel. You discover that they are not on air. You go to Abuja, you have how many stations? They're hardly on air, because you can't blame them. You can't just buy diesel and be running and then nobody's coming in. So for me, all the problems that they outlined there, if you ask me, I would actually say, because what they are saying,
yes,
and ways they were suggesting, yes, some stations are not into that.
Yes.
When we were presented at Africa's, this Conference of African Broadcasters in Lagos last year, we were the only station that could boast of operating 24 hours on alternative power, which is solar energy. And people couldn't believe, because they don't even believe that solar energy can drive a transmitter and drive a radio station. So as it is in Nigeria today, we are, as at Africa's last year, we were the only radio station running 24 hours on solar, the whole country. They couldn't even believe Joe when he said it at Africa's last year, but he had to make his presentation, and NBC was saying that this year they would invite us to go and share our story with people and see how they can do it. So yes, solar is not free.
No,
the sun is free there, but
how to tap it?
How to tap it is not free. So, but if you do it in the long run, you will actually have rest of mind. But if you ask me, everything they were saying in Bauchi, we have in place.
Yes.
The money is still not coming in. So that is why I blame the people, because I am feeling like, if you are listening to me now as a listener, I am challenging you, and I'm feeling that you people like cheap things and free things. Because that is why you listen to quality programs on radio and you think you cannot or you should not contribute. Something like requests, it should be every day. Team requests program, we should be looking at hours every day, because the cards should be too much. The cards should be too much. So some people know that even if I don't buy, I'm sitting back to listen. That is cheating, because that particular program, yes. So if you ask me for the reason, I would rather blame people listening.
A lady called me from Batire yesterday to commend the show. But that woman, she's a peasant woman, but she features on every request show. Since I started presentation, I noticed Ango Kenegwa, you always hear, and it's for 1,000. So if every team listener would do what that woman does,
exactly.
If just every listener determines that every week I'm going to spend 1,000 naira, we will be challenged to expand that program, because I've told people that that's the easiest program to expand, because if we have more than 100 cars or 200 cars coming in, we know that we have to share it with other programs. And, because the music, you surprised me on Saturday when you played the music of Team Kasua that I've never heard that one before, but I didn't know that you have that collection. Because the collection of the team music that we have is
something else that we've not even started playing.
No, and I don't know how we can exhaust it if there are no requests. And the only request can pull those kind of
songs. So why can't you request? So if you ask me, the fault is the listeners, and particularly Steve, because you see, we have done radio differently, and we do it carefully, and we know exactly what we do.
So let's hear the listeners respond now that we are saying that.
Okay, so call now 08084275464. That's 08084275464. Call now and suggest your own ways of thinking how the media can survive in the face of economic downturn. 08084275464. That's 08084275464. Now the other thing is, I don't know whether I should say this in TV, but because we know what we do, we can decide to have the programs in English. I mean the music in English, and every other talk programs. Yes. But the attitude uti vitesiye kwa vao vevengoholo.
Shadzwa ya kawo. But they say it in passing that they love it. They interact with us every day. But then to put, I think they say you should put your money where your heart is, or something like that. Yes. That is the aspect that we've not seen fully in operation.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name or you calling from.
I am Simeon Agerzua. I'm calling from North Bank.
Simeon, are you on the farm? There's so much noise there. Move away from the noise and talk to us.
Okay.
So have you ever put your money on Asking Radio? Have you ever bought a card?
I have not.
Why?
I'm complaining. I was brought up in St. Michael's in a lady. My English teacher was a very wonderful teacher. He knows the difference between O and 0. O is not a number.
I think you are calling to say what you actually don't know. Have you ever heard a frequency on radio and they tell you? Have you ever heard 103.5 FM, for instance? Have you ever heard 103.5?
10 is correct. 10 is wrong.
Because you actually don't know. So I think you should rather learn and put your money here. So that's the other thing. Is it because you call phone numbers and you say it's O and not 0? That's why this man has not bought anything and he's listening.
But the response from the audience shows that they know and they follow.
Exactly.
So I think communication is when you get the appropriate response.
It's an attitude of people now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Are you calling from? Radio is super loud.
I'm Dan Alhaji.
Oh, Dan, move away from your radio. If you are in your car, turn it down completely and then talk to us. Go on now.
Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
It's still loud. Turn down the radio. Are you in your car?
I'm in the house.
Okay, so move away from that room where the radio is and then talk, or let them turn it. If somebody wants to listen to you on the radio, you move away from the radio. They can still hear you. Go on now.
From the radio. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you still hear the audio?
No, you are fine now.
It's okay now.
Okay. Dan Alhaji from Air Force Base.
Dan Alhaji, go on.
Or you call me Sadiq from Air Force Base.
Okay, Sadiq, go on.
Yeah. You see, I'm a visitor here in Benin. I grew up in Benin, though, partially in Benin. I days in Lagos now. I've been listening, like seriously, I was tuning in on radios looking for channels, but unfortunately, I found this very interesting, taking me to old good days. But the difference between what I've seen with your radio and that of the Lagos channels or the Lagos
radio
marketing strategy is that you yourself have to be blamed in one thing. Because when you are in the market, you don't wait for the people to come. You must take the market to the people. Now, I'm selling this. I don't know how you're going to sell me, but I'm selling this. Definitely, maybe in a week or two, I'll leave Benue. And if I come again next year, make sure your audio is visible to the world. Like how they will be able, all the world will be as a whole will be able, not only Benue entirely, the world, like Nigerian can get your station visible. And if that is not possible, are you all to me?
Yes, we're listening.
And if that is not possible, then make sure your radio station can do marketing strategies like bringing up time and channels, or time and frequencies that you sell strategies to people, or give them audience to showcase their market.
Okay.
I think with the time being I've been in this Benue for a week now, I've not had something like that. There is no time. It's always selling of old schools and giving up news. That will not bring your money.
I seem not to understand. So if you are there, Sadiq, so what exactly are you saying?
What I'm saying in essence is that do a show whereby the people will you encourage the people to bring up their market. It's the time. You see, for example, there's like in Lagos, most channels does this. Maybe if it is 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock, they ask people to call in. That is for market timing.
Okay.
Sell your market, bring up market this thing. That is just audio calling.
So when you now call, if I open my line that come and sell your market on air, and you are calling to sell, how do I make money from that? How do you pay money into my account before you call? Because anybody can call the same way you are calling.
Now with that you bring people closer first. The people will first of all be given the forum or before they will come physically.
Okay, thank you, Sadiq. We have
at least he has made some recommendations.
Thank you, Sadiq. I think from what Sadiq is saying, just as we said, how different is how market, even the TV requests card as well as saying, look at the TV population alone and say we are targeting that alone. And it's going to be different. And then the Lagos, all the agencies are in Lagos anyway. Sadiq, maybe you don't know that, but all the advertising agencies are in Lagos, and they send adverts elsewhere. Yes, they have sent to us a couple of times, but they don't even pay. They hardly pay. Most of them don't pay. They owe you. So you sign all the agreements with them, and then sometimes somebody says something as simple as you need to go to Lagos and give them souvenir, and I'm like, you are doing this and you have this reach and you have this effect, but it's only when you go to Lagos to give them souvenir before they send advance to you. Maybe there's something more to this souvenir that I don't know. So what Sadiq is saying is, from what he's saying, it's like he's trying to equate this with social media marketing, that somebody goes on their Facebook page and say, okay, come and sell your market. Then people come and do that. He's thinking that we should allow people to call on radio to tell us whatever they are doing. Funnily enough, there is nothing new. What he's saying now is something we have done.
Yes.
So perhaps he just stayed here. He said 1 week.
And I think that, like advertising, you can't have enough. So we can still learn from what he's doing, what he has said. Even though I have gone out there, and on every program we simplify and make it easy for people to reach us.
Do you know the first time we knew, when we started, do you know how we knew that we were reaching 10K? Because we took the microphone and we went to Urukum and we asked people to advertise whatever they were selling for free.
Yes.
And we did that a couple of times. So there's a woman selling yamgyo at Wurukum.
Yes.
Who mentioned her yamgyo stand, and then people heard it in her village in Semke and say, we heard you on Asking Radio. So we have done all of that. But when you go back, it's just that attitude. The same people you are giving them that free space, when you go back for them, now it's time to pay. It becomes something else.
I think we can also redouble our efforts to appeal to the senses of the people to invest in what they love. You know, that's the essence of the thing. If you like something, pay, because what we are requesting is not too much.
No.
If we say you love Asking Radio, then invest 2,000 naira a month or 5,000 naira a month, and you are able to do. You can.
So were there no Lagos stations there? Were they not represented, and were they not complaining as well? Because if Sadiq thinks it's not a Lagos issue, it's just about us, I think it's a national thing, yeah.
It's a national thing because there was a memo that Alhaji Tijani Ramalan, one of the media owners, brought up, and it was unanimously approved, and the memo was requesting for federal government stimulus or palliative to support broadcast industry. So this thing is cutting across the entire spectrum.
It is. I think one of the reasons COVID-19 actually affected the global economy. That's the other thing that people, actually don't know.
Yes.
So when people started doing things from the home, and then social media was, thriving, they were just doing remote networking and all of that. It also affected the media to some extent, but we're here. 08084275464. That's 08084275464. Radio can be fun. A listener believes his teacher at Mount St. Michael's has a bus stop for English language, and he doesn't know that America just approved. It's just now that Trump just approves English language as the official language of the United States.
Can you imagine?
Yes, just now as we're talking, like now. But the guy believes you shouldn't be calling phone numbers. And he has never bought a request. That's how funny radio can be. So do you think we need to listen to Professor Patti and Haji Assad, or there's no need?
I wanted to mention in passing some of the things that impressed me in Bauchi. I was in Bauchi 40 years ago when a friend of mine, who is incidentally a broadcaster, was doing youth service and invited me. I was in final year University of Jos to come over and see. So going to Bauchi after 40 years, and seeing how Bauchi has made attempts to improve on their infrastructure. But then where the assembly was held was a military facility, command guest house. It's a big hotel. So the military itself is diversifying. That's I found that very fascinating. So I wanted to mention that even behemoth institutions are diversifying as part of
then it was Mami and maybe civilians having limited access to their facility. But that has changed. So that's the other thing about business. And like Asking Media is beyond a radio station, and then you have training. So that's where encourage young people or even people practicing who want to add up to their knowledge to come over for training and all of that, and then you do few other things that will bring money to to the station.
Some other thing, we were taken to the tomb of the first Prime Minister of Nigeria, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. We saw the museum there in his honor, and then I thought about it. There is nothing like that in Benue State. Maybe as our fortunes improve, we can do a radio museum here.
Of course, up there, that we have collections already.
Yes,
but these are the things I keep telling my wife, or asking my wife, that this environment, as people complain of everything, you have radio sets there. Your shirt that you have produced in Hong Kong, and you have brought it here, you have shipped it here. When you ask people to buy, they are putting more emphasis on the fact that you ask them to buy a shirt, and they want you to give them an hour for free to promote them. So the attitude, if you look at it, if you have a radio museum there, which students should be coming on excursion and all of that to learn the evolution of radio and all of that. Abu radio kauza udanegno akula radio but seveve kaza ya wede kiminyari. That is just the attitude. People who want good things. They want good things, but they think those things should be free, and if you ask me.
And one of the artifacts I saw at the museum was Tafawa's radio set, a Zenith.
Exactly.
And then the first television set
he used.
And that was sent to him free.
You see? So these are the things. So can you just imagine that? So these are the things, and these things should... I think the orientation in the minds of the people should actually change. It's not too big. Nemanulungwa for instance, man, they retire. Aluhamu 5,000 a month. That because we are sustaining the thief culture and the language alone. Let's not even look at any other thing. Let's face thief.
Yes.
Asking Radio can just we have a license pending for an old thief radio station, 90% thief. It has not come yet, but even this one, because it's here, we can make it 90% thief.
You can see the type of thief content we
have. Yeah, exactly.
Thief content.
And then you want to go the Zambi via Kwashunelu. Anyway, I think time is up, and we haven't heard from Professor Pate. And
let's hear.
Okay, let's
a bit about him.
Well, it's about the survival of broadcast media organizations in this part of the world. Without being told, you know that we are facing existential threats that are undermining as well as subverting the survival of the media, not only the broadcast media. Therefore, managers need to put on their thinking caps and have a good understanding of media economics. How can they diversify? How can they invest in technology? How can they collaborate, as well as ensure that content production is given priority for quality audiences? So basically, these are some of the issues that we have raised. So what is the way forward? Diversification, knowledge of economics, of demand and supply in media production and dissemination of information. Of course, trying to invest in aspects like subscription, being on the platforms and being able to mainstream as well as bring in the current technologies that can improve all that we do. Without that, people will simply ignore us and will be out of business.
So we have everything he's saying.
Yes.
People are not ignoring us.
No.
Yet there is no money. Unfortunately, it's time to say bye. So this will be back here tomorrow.
Thank you.